Welcome to this session of The Touch, the Sound, a set of special videos to explore different sounds and techniques on our percussion instruments. For this session, we're going to look at all things made of metal. So to start, I want to ask you a question. Do you know what this instrument is? This funny looking metal instrument? Well, if you don't know, we'll give you the answer at the end of the video. Now, sometimes we're handed a part that's labeled mark tree, and we find ourselves confused. Is that this instrument or potentially this instrument? Well, I'm here to clarify that the mark tree are the wind chimes. So whenever you see mark tree, play the wind chimes. This other instrument is known as the bell tree. So when you see the bell tree part, you're going to look for an instrument like this, and I recommend a brass beater to play that instrument. All these beautiful sounds that you can have on the wind chimes, also known as the mark tree, or the bell tree. Let's move over now to this instrument, the sleigh bells. Now the sleigh bells can be played in two different ways. One fashion we often see is to hang the instrument and then strike the top of the handle. That technique works in many instances, but one should know that when you strike the top of the handle, there's a small amount of time before the jingles react, giving it a delay, and sometimes the player plays out of time. So another technique I like is to hold it with two fingers at the edge and make it parallel to the ground, and then I shake it back and forth. I explore different dynamics by moving the instrument from low for a soft sound up to high for a bright, exciting high volume. This also gives an exciting visual to your audience as you're playing the sleigh bells. Now let's move over to this instrument. This, of course, is the triangle. Now, many times I know that we're not as excited about the triangle part when we get it, but I'm here to tell you I find the triangle to be extremely exciting as an instrument. Let's start with our playing position. First, we take our non-dominant hand and create a table with our thumb and our our middle finger in this shape of a C. We'll rest it on the thumb and the middle finger, and the pointer finger will then sit on top. The other fingers, the ring finger and the pinky, are available for dampening. Now I want to show you something about the triangle. I'm going to first hit it parallel to the ground. Then I'll hit it perpendicular to the ground. You'll notice there's two different tones. So to play the triangle in a way that we capture all those tones, we play it at an angle or at a diagonal. Now we're catching all the shimmering sounds of the triangle. The triangle has plenty of beating spots that you can explore. And each beating spot might be a color or a timbre that's right for the piece. To roll on a triangle, we like to be in the bottom right corner, and in doing so, I'll start softly by being an upward downward motion in the very tightest of the corner. To increase my dynamic volume, I will then expand, going away from the corner and allowing the sound to brighten and to create more volume. Now it might be that you have a triangle part that requires rapid rhythmic patterns that need to be played in a triangle part. I use two of the matching beaters and then suspend the triangle like you see here. Using that diagonal angle again, I'll play with the two beaters on the suspended triangle. Lots of different ways to explore what you can do with the triangle. Last but not least now, I'd like to go to this instrument, the tam-tam. To start your playing on the tam-tam, you always want to warm it up. That could be a light tap on the instrument, or I like to, behind the instrument, wiggle my fingers and be tapping it lightly to get the instrument to start to vibrate. If you strike the tam-tam before it's being warmed up, it may crack. So you want to make sure that it's already vibrating. Now, I might have a low dynamic, and with different stroke types, you could get different textures and sounds from the tam-tam. Here's a soft, low tone. A little bit harder brings out a darker tone. And then of course, when it's warmed up, you can play with a big full stroke. So a lot of dynamics and colors you can explore when playing the tam-tam. Now, before I forget, we want to get back to that funny instrument from the beginning. This instrument, if you haven't guessed by now, is the flexitone. So I'm going to shake it side to side while I squeeze the metal portion, and that way the pitch will go up and down. Always fun when you're given the flexitone part. Well, I hope this has inspired you to go out and practice your own heavy metal. And of course, remember, play with purpose and have fun.